Enda, thank you so much. Thank you for welcoming us here at Ashford Farm. So it's 7 a.m. We finally made it. It was hard, but we found a way to meet you today to record this interview. So as you were saying, you're not really fond of interviews. When we prepared the whole conversation and the episode, we didn't find much about you on the internet, so I will have to ask you to introduce yourself, but I can already say that you founded Ashford Farm. We are here in Belgium. This place that was supposed to be a stable, I guess, at the beginning has turned into something like a village. When we came here, we were like, okay, which place is the right one, and we eventually understood that it's all of the place belongs to Ashford Farm. You're a horse dealer at the moment. I believe that's the way we can introduce you. We know that in the past you started as a groom and you worked for Cian O'Connor. You're Irish. And at the moment, so you're based in Belgium, but you also have places around the world that you have developed to extend the network, to extend your business. So you will tell us about that. But maybe because this is a way we were used to introducing the episode with the guests that we have on the podcast, maybe you can start by explaining and telling the story of how you met the horse and how you got involved in the horse world at the beginning.
Okay. Good morning, and thank you very much for coming. And I apologize for the hour that we have to do this interview, but I really appreciate that you're here, and I'm looking forward to this interview. Like I said, I am not very fond of interviews, but this one I'm really excited about. Thank you for that. So just to give a small memory of how we all started. In Ireland, it's very common and very normal to grow up around horses, some way or another. There's horses in everyone's sort of family or between the farming background and just the Irish culture in general. And I think that's why if you see all over the world, the Irish riders especially, they're so talented. I think at the moment there's 12 Irish riders in the top 100 of the world. Every week if you see a 5-star Grand Prix, there's Irish doing well. So that's something I'm very proud of, the Irish culture in the equestrian. So that's great. So I was lucky enough from my family to get connected with horses. And I just really loved working with them, and it was an opportunity for me maybe to leave school, which I didn't really enjoy, and that was a difficult moment for my parents, which when their son says he wants to leave school at 13 years old, I'm sure it's a difficult situation for any parent. But they were amazing and supported me, supported my wishes, and only give me encouragement and pushed me into follow what I wanted to do. And that snowballed quickly into I got a job working for Cian O'Connor as a groom for one of his riders, and it was a huge eye opener for me to really see how our sport is, how the industry is, and it was amazing. When I was 14, I travelled with Cian to the Sunshine Tour in Vaher, and it was like just a different world of professionalism, sport, people, business, and that was quite sure where I wanted to be. This part of the industry. Did I know, 20 years later, we would be where we are now? Absolutely not. It's obviously dreams that you put everything together, but it's been an amazing, fun journey. Obviously, after Cian's, I had an ambition to ride, and which I really enjoyed. I between grooming and then been an exercise rider, and I developed to be a show jumping rider in a few stables, and that was also a fantastic experience. I rode until I was 21. I rode the European Championships in Athens, a young rider, and I rode the European Championships in Auvers. And then when I was 21, at the end of my young rider years, and I saw around me, I was a good rider, but I saw around me so many brilliant riders, and I realized it's going to be a difficult life for me if I'm trying to compete with all of these brilliant riders. So I decided to stop riding and start my own business. And I always thought at that point, instead of trying to compete with these brilliant riders, it was better that I try to employ one of these brilliant riders. And that's basically what we did. Obviously my business started small at 21, but then I think I was maybe 24 or 25 when I employed Marlon. And to get a rider like that is it's a dream for any stable. So that, I think that was also a big step in the growth of Ashford at the speed that we grew, to have such a talent, such a horseman as our rider. It gave us opportunities, and I think we possibly grew quicker because of his ability, and then other riders followed, and it was, yeah, I think it's a key part in our stable to have good riders. But now I would say it's more easy to have good riders because of our reputation, but back then to get such a rider was amazing.
That you went from groom to rider, so you actually know how the work is done and what we can expect from this sport. How do you think each of these jobs has shaped your vision of horse business?
Well, I'm very happy of the way I came into the business, because I feel like I've seen and experienced from all different views and point of views. That's why today my staff are extremely important to me, because I understand the hours and the effort that goes into it from every aspect of our industry. So I don't regret at all the way I've come into the business, and I think it gives me a good perspective of where it is. And also I'm sure we will talk about it later, we're developing a horse show in Portugal. And to also have in my mind, from groom's point of view, horse welfare, preparing for the competitions. I think it's still a good background that I've from where I've started.
And you started with no less than Cian O'Connor. I mean, we met and recorded an episode with Cian, and we were struck by the way he frames and structures everything around him. It's really so tight, so clever, so smart, the way he thinks, the way he just built the stables. Everything was, not up to hazard or just let's do that way. Everything has a reason to be, and it's not only a business lesson when we meet Cian, but it's also that, like, the kind of person that's able to lift you up. We were inspired by his determination, but by his vision. And I mean, the next day you just wake up and you want to do more. Is this the way you lived the experience with Cian? Would you believe that he had a huge influence on the way you are working now?
Absolutely. Obviously, everything you've said about Cian is correct. His vision and his attention to detail is incredible, absolutely incredible. But his workforce and his determination is what I admire the most. I always joke with our staff, the rule at Cian's at the time, 5 minutes early is on time, on time is late. And that's something that, and these small things have stayed with me. You know, his I don't say army training, but you know, discipline is very important there, and that's how I think he gets to his success, because everything is done not by accident but by a plan, and he makes it happen. So these small details that I've took away from there, I think has been a big part for going back to my riding or to my business. I think it's been an invaluable part. Yeah.
I think he is the rider that have the best horses in the world in his stable, actually. So he has a plan to go to Paris and
Yes.
to create his stables to go to Paris.
Yeah, but I think again that's just showing him. I do agree he has the best, one of the best group of horses in the world, but he went and he focused himself to buying the best horses, to finding sponsors and owners to buy the best horses for him, to manage the best horses. So it's not by accident that he has the best horses in his stable.
We have read that a number of souls have helped your of sales. Sorry, have
What?
A number of sales.
Yes.
have helped your career to take off, including Nice Stephanie and Cheyenne and Nenufar Jack. Can you tell us about the genesis of this adventure of Ashford Farm?
What does that mean?
The
beginning.
the beginning, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. To discuss these couple of horses, it's really nice for me to remember it. It was amazing time. Our company was doing well, and it was very much at the beginning. And I remember very well the deal with family Magret and Penelope. It's even now nice to remember it. For me, at the time, we were a small company, and to sell such a talented horse to such a wonderful rider and such an incredible family like them, it was special. And that obviously the publicity from it, and then it starts to snowball, and then again selling Cheyenne to HTC for Kevin to ride on the 5-star level. Again, it was amazing. I mean, nowadays we're doing that weekly, selling fantastic horses to high-end riders or high-end families. But back then it was amazing. Yeah, it's still very fond memories actually.
So it all started with Nice Stephanie. Was it the first one to really, help your career and your business to take off?
I would say it would be one of the first ones. I had another horse previous to that. It was called the Patriot. It was my first sort of bigger sale to America, to the Porter family, and that was definitely my first bigger sale. But the most high-profile sale would have been Nice Stephanie. So you could consider that. And the nice thing about Nice Stephanie, it was one of the first horses. It was the first horse I bought in partnership with Jos Lansing, a partner of mine. And Nice Stephanie we sold, I think, maybe 12 or 13 years ago. And Jos and me are still extremely close partners with a range of, I think, 10 or 20 horses in partnership. So I'm very, very proud of the fact that that relationship is still going very strong.
Well, in the unique article we found about you, you said in Grand Prix, you also said that your success is due to 30 persons, and that all of these persons have helped you be where you are today. Would you say that you are acting as a unifying force? And also, can you tell us about those 30 people? Who are they, and to what extent did they shape the career and the path that you then followed?
Yeah, to be honest, it's a difficult one to name the people, because I don't want to leave anybody out. But I've been extremely fortunate through my whole, even from my starting with Cian to my next job. Somebody made an extreme effort with a phone call to get me that next position, or for my young rider days to get a better job. I've always been extremely fortunate of people supporting me and, you could say, believing in me or taking the time to give me knowledge, to give me some guidance. I've been supported by very, very talented business people who just takes the time to advise me, to guide me, or people who supported me when we first bought our farm, to make it happen, or to first buy our group of horses, or again with starting the company, even till today. I'm still surrounded by incredible support. I don't know why that has happened, but it's been without doubt the most important part of my journey is the support of other people.
So then, Enda, can you tell us more about Ashford Farm, its development and this current organization, how does it actually work, who are the people involved, who ride, who buy, who sell the horses? Can you tell us more?
Yeah, so we started Ashford. It was obviously a very small company, but I don't know why at the time I had in my mind we need to make Ashford as a brand. And at the time, it was not really common in the horse business to have that. But I'm happy I did. And now as I see, and it was a lot of investment, a lot of cost, but I think it was also a part for us to grow quicker in the industry. And now I think we're recognized as a brand. And I see other stables now also becoming brands, because actually our industry is a brand, or you can call it like that. So we started like that, and it's been fun and it's developed well. Ashford now is, as you said when you introduced, it's grown a lot, and we have quite a lot of plans and visions and dreams. And without good people, these dreams cannot happen. And again, we are surrounded by great people, from our stable managers to our riders to our clients relations, our sales. Every person in the team plays a big part of it, and without these amazing people, the circle wouldn't go around.
So you have developed a leg of Ashford Farm in Portugal, as you said. Why did you make this choice, and what are the ambitions with this development?
So me and my family went to the Algarve in Portugal, actually right in the middle of COVID. I think it was 21. And I just fell in love with the area. I thought it was the most incredible little oasis ever. And then I went home thinking, how can we turn this into an opportunity for my family to be here for larger periods of time, and to turn it into a business. So then I decided we should make a show there. And then again, going back to always being lucky with people around me, I found a guy in Portugal, a wonderful guy, and he found me a unique piece of ground, 85 hectares. So to find 85 hectares in the Algarve is not so easy. And we found the most beautiful property, 10 minutes from Faro Airport, right in the middle of Villamora. So that has been unique. And now our dream is to be able to welcome other families, other professionals with families, to come to be able to operate their business and enjoy what we enjoyed as our family did, that the whole equestrian community can come and enjoy 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and be able to operate that's for me the most important, that they can operate their business from this beautiful location.
You said, when you mentioned this Portugal facilities earlier, you said that you're having a vision about everything that must be done about it, especially horse welfare and like groom equipments and everything. How do you picture the place? How do you picture the organization? What do you want to do? There's one thing but I think we will discuss this a little bit further, but you said that you had a vision about marketing, about building Ashford as a brand. So I believe and I'm sure that you already picture the new organization of this show as something special with improved service for everyone. So what can we expect from that?
Yes, so just going we'll first talk about the horses. The horse welfare is extremely important, from stabling to even just, for example, walkways, lunging areas, for which you don't even think about, but on several of these events, a massive danger and requirement is for horses hand walking. Every day there's hundreds of horses hand walking, just to have a safe, good environment for hand walking horses. You don't even think about it, but it's a very important part.
Did you went to Ocala?
I've never been yet to the new Ocala,
You
but
have
it's on our list. Our team are going to go there for some inspiration. But this is the level that we would like to exceed to. It's wonderful what they've invested in Ocala and for the horse industry.
I think.
So apart from the like safe walking areas, what do you want to do?
Yeah, we want to also try to improve the quality for grooms. Obviously with simple things like restaurants, accessibility to restaurants, but also what is very important it has a rolling effect. We want the jumping hours to be on normal jumping hours, because first of all it has for the riders it's a benefit, but also for the grooms, because if a competition is starting at 7:30 in the morning, grooms are starting at 5, and that's not fun for anybody. So we would like to have the operating hours more pleasant, which will fall back to the grooms. We'll have more comfortable working hours, and then we also would like to probably speak to grooms for advice where we can improve. We've already spoken to our team, and we would like to know what requirements, what needs, any suggestions. Obviously, we can't do everybody's suggestion, but we will definitely be looking at hearing from grooms, from assistants, what we can do to make things better. But horse welfare will be priority.
So you definitely need to use a design thinking workshop.
Yes.
I don't know if you know that.
Yes.
Super useful.
Yeah, that's something we have to look into.
All right. So you said that you have no education from university, business school, but yet you built a whole brand, and not only a stables, but just you had a marketing strategy, you have a branding strategy. And that's something that really interests us, because we have a marketing agency apart from the media, and it's not so common to find in the equestrian industry someone who apply this marketing vision, who apply the regular tools that we have in other industries into the equestrian sport. We find that some very often, like the businesses are a little, not obsolete, but delayed regarding compared to what actually is done in other markets. So where did you find this vision? Where did you find this will of having a brand, of using marketing techniques to build your business?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I'm, like you said, I'm not educated in that background, but I have a thing where I get a small idea or get a small vision maybe, or something pops into my head. And then I'm, again, like I told you, I'm surrounded by such good people, they bring my madness to reality. And sometimes they tell me that it's crazy and we don't do it. But in general, I'm not the brains behind it, to be honest. We have really, really good people. And I don't know where these ideas come from. And I bring it to them and they make it brilliant.
When did you founded Ashford Farm?
We founded Ashford Farm in, I think, 2012.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's still very young.
Yes.
But do you think that selling and marketing horses has become more difficult over the years? I think now of the issues of vet checks, which are also increasingly strict. So can you tell us about that?
Yes. The industry has changed a lot even in 12 years. When I was starting, or when we were active in our company, we were selling about 350 horses a year. We were buying horses, and the standard vet check at the time was about 12 X-rays, and no ultrasounds, nothing like that. Now we're selling about 100 horses a year. Vet checks are with 50 plus X-rays. So the more X-rays you take, the more you find. Ultrasounds and so on. But the whole industry has changed. The market has changed. We're for everybody, not just for Ashford Farm. You know, the financial point has also changed. So I can understand clients wanting to do as much research and like a due diligence as possible to limit their risk, because it is large investments and it is a large amount of money that we try to limit as much risk as possible.
And during and after COVID, the horse trade exploded. How do you think the situation is today?
Yeah, it's funny because we all rushed home from our tours wherever we were. We were in Sunshine Tour, and we all prepared for the worst. Business was going to stop and everything, but actually from COVID, it kept going, which is surprisingly, it kept going even maybe better. We had no customers traveling, but we were creating, video sales and all sorts of different creative deals. And it's actually quite funny. We were considering to build this new office. It was quite a large investment. We had all prepared before COVID, and then we got home from Sunshine Tour, and we had a meeting with our architects, online meeting with our architects, and I said, let's cancel the project, and we will see what happens in 12 months with the pandemic. And then I went to sleep that night. I couldn't sleep, and I called everybody in the morning. I said, actually, let's do it now. My thinking was, because it's a large construction next to both of our indoor and our outdoor arena, at least it's a good time to build it if we have no clients visiting. And actually it was the best thing that we could have done, because thankfully business kept moving, and we got our office finished, and the next year we were able to welcome clients again, and everything was finished. But going back to the question about the industry, it never really slowed down, which is as surprising for me as it is for you.
Okay.
And what do you think will be the forecast for the next coming years? Because can it keeps increase like it is at the moment, or do you think that at some point the top sports business will start to slow down or even to drop a little bit?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I don't know the answer. If I did, I'd be
super happy.
But the thing is, the way I see it, the horse industry is growing at a massive rate. If you see at all of the horse shows, between Sunshine Tour to Centaur to Saint-Tropez to wherever, they're all full. There's waiting lists to come in to all the shows. So that means there's a lot of people in the industry, and there's a lot of new people coming in the industry. So the horse industry is very healthy, and it's a wonderful industry, and it's a wonderful sport for people to get involved in. So from that point of view, I think it's very healthy. Obviously, running up to the Olympic Games, there's always a big push for horse sales to buy before the cutoff date. But even after that, there's still a huge demand for high-end horses. I'm guessing there can be a small slowdown in the business, because at every point, every business, every industry has a recorrection, which is healthy. But if you look back over history, even in the 70s, the 80s, 90s, horse business has always been, there's always people who want to buy good horses, if you go back in history. So I think going forward, I think the horse business will stay very healthy, but I do expect there might be a small correction in the market.
Do you know Eric Navet? Yeah, of course we do.
Yes.
Yeah, we met Eric Navet 2 years ago now in Wellington, and we talked with him in the episode about the fact that back in the time when he was a young rider, so a couple of decades ago, you could find a very good horse, from a breeder, and just develop the horse and just ride Grand Prix and even championships, like he did, for example, with Quito. And at the moment, it's harder to find a good horse, to be able to develop it. So it's less about hazard, or, it's not something that can come into your life. I just meet this horse and I will be able to ride Grand Prix. You have to be wealthy, or you have to have a good support. You have to ride for someone who is able to buy the horse. Do you think that something like that can happen again, like to find the super good horse, to develop it, and to be able to ride Grand Prix?
Yes, absolutely. That has changed massively, because I think also the financial aspect of our business has changed massively. There is the opportunity for someone to find that horse and to rise their way up to the highest level of the sport. But the unfortunate part, when you get to that opportunity of where you want to be in the sport, the financial offers that you're going to receive is going to be very difficult to keep that horse. But I had a very, very great conversations with Eric Levallois, and he spoke to me about Diamant and his father just refusing all these offers and just keeping it for Eric's sport. So you have to decide, do you take the money, or do you really keep it for your sport? But going back to what you said also about getting into the sport now, for sure it's more difficult, because, for example, 20 years ago when I was a young rider, there was plenty of riding jobs. That's more difficult now. But you see it over and over again, the super talented, the super hardworking still finds their way to the top. Just if you look at last week in Miami, Michael Duffy, from the same village as me in Ireland, normal background, great support from his parents, but no huge financial impact on his career. But he still got there. And there's plenty of other stories of Richard Vogel. That's a wonderful example. Funny story of Richard Vogel. He was here maybe 10 years ago for like a few weeks work experience through his uncle Richard Groom, and I'd called his uncle. I said, I think he should go back to school. I don't think he's going to make it as a rider. That's really true. But that's a wonderful example. He just worked and focused and trained and committed, and all the failures he just kept pushing through, and look at him now. So that's a great example. Yeah.
What do you think are the most important qualities a horse dealer needs to have in order to earn the trust of his customers? I am asking this question because we are near to Laurent Guillet, and I know that he's... Comment on dit service après-vente?
The after-sales service.
Yeah,
Yes.
his after-sales service is incredible, I think. And I think that it's one of the keys to become a success horse dealer.
Yes, Lauren is a wonderful guy and a guy that we do business with, but I really admire him and respect him. But going back to your question, yeah, so we're dealing with people all over the world, but we're selling, you could say, on average 100 horses a year. So we need to try to have researched our horses, trained our horses, know our horses, but then also we need to know our clients, and that's where we're very lucky because we have a lot of returning clients, so we know what their needs are. So we try to match the right horse with the right person. But even with the best of research and the best of experience with our clients, some partnerships don't work, or some horses don't suit, or injuries, or so on. So it's very important that we're there for our clients, after sales service, to even it can be something small as helping them with their horse or giving them some advice, and that opens the key for that partnership to work. Or if there's something else not working, that we're there with a solution to maybe exchange for another horse. But our clients are our priority, and their enjoyment and their success with their horses is our priority. So we have to be there for our clients to make sure everything goes well. And I've really pushed this from day one, or you can say from going back to Nice Stephanie. Our references, our horses that we've sold, is our image, our brand, our everything. So that's, if we don't have wonderful success stories or references, we won't have the future business. So our references and our horse sales that we've sold are our biggest priority.
So from that little village in Ireland to then Cian O'Connor's place, to here and to seeing all the horses you've sold at the Olympics, would you say that you're living the Irish American dream?
I'm definitely living the dream.
Yeah.
I don't know which dream I'm living, but I'm definitely living the dream. I feel so privileged what the horse industry has brought to my life. It's amazing, all the people that I've had the opportunity to work with, and to see different things grow, see how this company has grown, see our future plans, what we have envisioned grow, and this is all because of horses. So I'm extremely fortunate for that.
We heard yesterday from Lara Triba, as we said, who trains with Marlon Zanatelli, that Belgium is really the heart of sport. It's where everything happens. Would you agree with that?
I wouldn't say it's where everything happens, because that would be unfair, but it's definitely become the central hub of Europe. Okay, geographically, it also makes sense. Belgium is right in the center. But this little region of ours, Limburg of Belgium, has in the last 10 years grown massively in the horse industry. From where we are right now at Ashford Farm, you're in 15 minutes in Centaur Park, 15 minutes in Valkenswaard Global Championship, 45 minutes in Pilbergen, 1 hour in Lier. So these are all wonderful facilities built around us, and then there's also world champion Jos Lansing, 15 minutes from here, Ludo Philip Parts. So the community is depth in professional horse people.
You said 4 years ago in this unique article in Grand Prix, I don't really have any 5 years plans or big projects on the go. I had really like Ashford Farm to remain a peaceful place where everyone is proud to work for a brand we've created. Today, few years later, do you have any 5 or 10 years plan, or do you still live from day to day?
Obviously, as the company gets bigger, we need to put more structure and more plans. My biggest plan is not to annoy my wife with too many big projects. But it's not that we have 5 or 10 year plans to grow and grow and grow. But as opportunities arrive, we're ambitious and we want to take them and we want to do them. So at the moment we have plans of obviously Portugal. We have just purchased our neighbouring farm, and we would like to make a small academy there for students, for rental business, for breeding. It's going to be a large facility where we'll have all of Ashford breeding horses there, and some accommodation for training and developing. We hope super young talents. So that's on the plans. And I think just continue to grow Ashford Farm, the stable, and keep developing.
So you also breed horses?
Yes.
Is this because you believe that buying horses has become more difficult, so then you need to breed them? Or is this because you really like to invest time and energy and thinking into the breeding part?
Yeah, I don't think it's because of it's easier than buying them. I think breeding is very important, because without breeding, there's no new horses coming. But I enjoy it. We've had some wonderful mares that we sold to close clients of ours, and have returned in partnership after their careers for breeding. So that's really a pleasure, and it's fun. And then we've had some great mares that maybe got injured or so on. So when you're working closely with horses that you have an attachment to, it makes it fun.
So we're only a couple of weeks away from Paris. I'd like you to place your bets. Like, who would you say will be the 3 couples on the podium? Show jumping.
Okay. I think Ben Mayer would have to be a strong bet at the moment. He is a wonderful rider, got great experience, and his horses are in super shape. Henrik van Eckermann also, and I'm not just going off the world. Still is amazing. Yeah, I'm not going off the world ranking, but just from riding and horsepower, and so it's hard to bet against him.
And the ability he has to bring the horse to be ready at a very special moment.
But that's again like what I said about Cian. Yeah. Henrik is a wonderful, wonderful athlete, but organized, disciplined, perfectionist. So it's not it doesn't happen by accident that he's world number 1 for I think 23 months, or that he wins all these titles. He does it because he just has everything so structured, his discipline on himself, on his horses. So and same with Ben Mayer. These guys don't surprise me when they are world number 1, because their organization is just so perfect.
And the third one.
And the third one, let's see the third one.
An Irish.
Yeah, definitely. Let's put our money on Cian.
Okay. And what do you think are the best horses on the market today?
On the market?
Not for sale.
For sports.
I was going to say, because I think the best horses are not on the market. Obviously, King Edward is a wonderful horse. It's really a wonderful horse. I'm really like McLean Ward's new horse, Elix. It looks very talented. And the next one more. Let me think. Julian Epper's horse is wonderful also, Dubai.
Yeah, Dubai.
Yeah.
He said, I read an article this morning, I believe, where he said he has never ridden any horse like that. I have one last question because at the very beginning of our conversation, you said that when you first sold Nice Stephanie, it was like the first sale with such a scope horse, and it was very significant in your career. And that at the moment, and that now that you sell horses like that every week, but are you getting used to this feeling of selling a super horse to a super rider, or do you think that you can get like not bored, but you can at some point forget how special this is for you?
And this is a very nice question, but the beautiful thing about what we're doing, we're weekly or monthly meeting wonderful individuals, either a top rider such as, for example, Cian O'Connor or Henrik van Eckermann. And so when they come to test their horse or try a horse, that every time is a wonderful experience, because you're meeting somebody very, very interesting, very smart, and then you're trying to see if this connection with the horse is a match. Or on the other side, if it's to an amateur, it's coming from a different world. So that's also a wonderful experience, meeting that person. So I would say each sale or each partnership or connection with a horse and a client, it's still very important, and it's still something that is my biggest, from all of our projects and everything. Selling is my favorite. It's where my passion is. I really love being out in our arena with our clients and trying to connect the right horse with our client. That's will always be my favorite passion.
So next time we see you, we're looking forward to be able to traveling to Portugal and to experiencing a new type of show.
Yes, that's my ambition also.
Well, that's all we wish. Thank you so much, Enda, for this time with you, for this very early morning at the stables, and thank you for sharing so many insights from your world.
No, it's been really a pleasure. Thank you.